What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to give you guys a very important update involving Tesla's earnings, what the expectations are for this earnings report, and what you should be watching for as we approach the big event in the next couple of hours. But before I break anything down, all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. The offer ends in 13 days. Check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with Tesla. As I warned you guys about in the morning, I told you all that Tesla could see some significant downside for today, looking at the technicals and the bull trap that developed in the morning. Same thing happened to SPY, and I gave you guys the warning. And as you can see, Tesla's now down almost 5% as of right now. We're watching 242 as support, and it could continue to sink even lower as it's looking very weak. However, here's the thing about Tesla. This right here is not really the big move that I've been like foreseeing for Tesla, because we're going to see an even bigger move during the after hours after earnings comes out and also going into tomorrow. And this is going to be dependent on what Tesla announces for earnings, how guidance is looking, and other factors like that. So that's going to be the real move. This is probably going to be small compared to that if Tesla does make a big move. And I want to now talk about earnings before I talk more about Tesla. So as a reminder, we have earnings coming out for today. Okay, it's going to be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time or 4:30 p.m. Central Time. All right, so wherever you are in the world, make sure you're prepared for this. It's going to be a little bit after the market ends up closing, so make sure you are ready for the big move Tesla's about to make. Now, when it comes to earnings, the expectations are not the strongest. We're expecting a 76-cent EPS according to Earnings Whisper, and we also have a revenue around $24.26 billion. These sites are also talking about some operating expenses to go up for Tesla, operating margins to decrease, and their gross margins to decrease as well. So we're expecting some weakness from Tesla. That is what the expectations are. Now, with that being said, is it possible Tesla's going to beat on earnings thanks to these low expectations? Yes, it's a real possibility, but it's not a guarantee because you never know what could happen. However, Tesla does have a tendency of beating earnings, surprising people when they have these very low expectations for the company. But we'll have to wait and see just to be safe. Now, I do have another warning for everyone about options. Now, if you want to hold something overnight, be my guest. That is your choice. And it could work out very well if you end up catching the right direction or if you learn to play them right using different strategies. A strategy that could work would be like selling covered calls, for example, to take advantage of these premiums, which are being basically inflated thanks to implied volatility. So, implied volatility is at the highest we've seen in many, many months for Tesla premiums. And then on top of this, other sites are showing that they're up about 109% on average for the Friday expiration. So what does this mean for Tesla? What does this mean for people out there? Basically, the options are very expensive for Tesla. The premiums are very expensive for calls or puts. And in doing so, I just want to make it clear that tomorrow I am expecting a big IV crush. Okay. So basically, implied volatility is going to drop, which means that if you're holding the exact same strike and Tesla does not move much, there's going to be a big drop in the value of that strike. However, hear me out. That does not mean that you are guaranteed to lose money, because Tesla could make a very, very big move. Just like how Nvidia made a big move, Tesla could do the same thing. Tesla could run 10%, even 15, 20% in just one day. And if you catch that right, you could still make crazy money. So I personally don't like to play, options during a time like this. I'm actually not going to be playing Tesla's earnings. I do find it kind of risky, and I don't really like to gamble because you never know. Tesla could beat on earnings. They could still run very, very nicely, but at the same time, the exact opposite could happen, as Tesla has gaps both to the upside and the downside. So the best thing I'll tell you is this: do what you want to do. It's your own risk. It could work out very well. You can make crazy money off these options if you play it right. If you have the right strategy, it can also work out very well. But if you don't want to play it, just know that this is your final warning, because over the next 20 minutes or so, by the time you're watching this video, the market is going to be closing very, very soon. And this is going to be your last chance to secure those profits, to get out of options and do things like that. I'm going to be holding Tesla shares, of course, through all of this. I'm going to keep on buying any dips that keep coming for years and years to come. I'm not referring to those. I'm just referring to like trading options. If you're swing trading or anything like that, just be very careful and do what you have to do, guys. This is your last warning. So when it comes to earnings, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't really like to play things based off uncertainty. But if you want to, it's once again your choice. So once again, earnings is going to be at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to be watching to see how Tesla ends up beating or missing. Can they beat EPS and revenue? My guts tells me they're going to beat on these things. And then the most important thing is going to be guidance. What does Tesla tell us about the next 12 months? What do they say about the recession? What do they say about their current production line and their expected deliveries and things like that? We're also going to find out more information about their margins, which is the biggest concern amongst investors. So it's going to be very telling. I'll be back maybe later on tonight, late at night possibly, if not by early tomorrow, to just talk about how our earnings went. But I should be back tonight for my final video of the day to talk about earnings after earnings is done with. All right. So, anyways, I will see you guys later on. Please take care. Look at the market where we are currently at. I also wanted to add that what I said about Tesla also relates to SPY and also the QQQ, because SPY is approaching our target of 430. We're actually super close to it right now. We're continuing to sell off very aggressively. I warned you guys about this possible head and shoulders and the bearish signals that ended up developing off the bull trap. So watch support, watch as SPY is selling off, and SPY is going to be affected by Tesla tomorrow too. If Tesla runs very hard, this could help SPY to some extent alongside the other earnings. And if the exact opposite happens, this will affect SPY too. Same thing with the QQQ. So we're going to be watching this very, very carefully. Are we going to see like a big move back up above 365 plus or our 200 EMA? Or is the QQQ about to tank towards 359 or so? We're going to find out tomorrow based off Tesla. So I just want to warn you to be very careful in trying to trade any options, hold anything overnight. We don't know what's going to happen. So do what you want to do and do it at your own risk. Okay. So I'm not trying to disencourage you guys. It's your choice. Do whatever you want. It could work out very well. I've made plenty of money off Tesla options through earnings in the past. It's worked out very well for me before. But like I said before, it could be risky. And this time around, I don't see myself playing. If you want to do it, it's your choice. But anyways, that's my last warning. All right. So have a great day, guys. I thank every single one of you so much for listening. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that when it comes to Tesla, I see this as a win-win situation. That's the last thing I just wanted to say. I am still very bullish for the longer term. And I just wanted to call out this gap down here. So going back on the charts, Tesla has this big gap down here around this 215 level. We also have a gap up here around this $273 area, and we're actually kind of close to the center of them. So like $30 up would give you, 270, and then $30 down would take you all the way down towards the 210s. So we're kind of in the middle. It could go either way. Either way, it's a win. If it tanks down to 200, I'll be buying more shares. I'm excited for that. If it runs really hard, awesome. We'll make even more money off our shares, right? It would be awesome. Either way, it's a win-win situation, guys. Don't necessarily fret. Do not fear. Be calm, cool, and collected, and I will see you guys very soon for the next video. All right, so get ready for Tesla's earnings. It's coming out very soon. I am very excited. Thank you, and peace out.